But I think the big elephant in the room is the conversation around the usage gap and how we can close on that. And so since we have a series of speakers that will be sharing some of the work that is being done, I will not take so much time. I think the statistics speak for themselves. When you look at the coverage gap, which today stands at 15% for sub-Saharan Africa versus 59%, which is the usage gap. So the question that we all have today is figuring out, for those that already seem to be connected or covered with the digital connectivity infrastructure, what can we do differently to ensure that they are meaningfully connected and they're benefiting from that? Now, I wanted to start off, and I know as we talk about the usage gap, some of the things we should be reflecting on is what are the barriers that are driving this usage gap? And I just came from a session that is talking about device affordability, because that has ranked as one of the highest barriers to the usage gap. So looking at the cost of a basic smart device as a smartphone, and we're not even talking about a laptop, tablet, and everything. We're talking about a smartphone, which is really a basic tool. When you look at the cost of it, vis-a-vis our people's willingness to pay, vis-a-vis our people's purchasing power, I think there needs, that calls for innovative partnerships, that calls for innovative ways on how we can unlock the usage gap. The second barrier is around digital literacy. When you look at the number of people that are digitally illiterate, it also means that even if they had a device, even if they had a smartphone, how much are they putting to use that smartphone? How is it creating opportunities for them? Is it just a tool where they can text and call? And I think that speaks for itself. That's why we see a big percentage of our people, especially in the developing country and especially for Africa, they end up going with feature phones because it can give you those basic capabilities of texting, calling, and now mobile money, which is largely driven by the USSD technology. So I think there's still a great opportunity for us as industry partners to think about digital literacy. Again, what I can say, it's not a one partner's job. That's the reality. If we leave it to just governments to build the digital literacy or the private sector to do it for very specific digital services and products that they're providing, I think that will be a missed opportunity on what we can do together if we forge a coalition, if we forge an alliance that seeks to build the digital literacy skills. But here's the catch. If we build digital literacy skills, we also increase the willingness to pay for our citizens. Then the justification and the value proposition is already there because they can already decide on what they need to do. But you can't also increase digital literacy on its own. We experimented with multiple programs. As Rwanda, we have our Digital Ambassadors program that we've been running for more than 5 years. And what we did was to hire digital ambassadors and place them in those remote and marginalized communities so that they can train citizens on basic digital literacy skills. And why we do that is we have all our services online. You go on Irembo, which is a centralized platform where you get all government services. But then not many citizens are able to self-serve. They always need a third party, an agent that can help them with delivering, with accessing those services. And so we created the Digital Ambassadors Program. It had a mass impact on our citizens. But in the end, what remained as a big question mark for us was the fact that we were training them. And as soon as we leave, because they don't have that basic tool to continue to test the skills that we've imparted with them, if you came back a month later, it's all forgotten. And so for us, it was a quick realization that device affordability, device ownership, and digital literacy are two things that must go hand in hand. And once you have the right device, it's easy to push the right training material, it's easy to push the right content, it's easy to build user-friendly services and products in the end that will drive the digital literacy gap that we have.